Today, Lynn, Kendra and I will speak as representatives of the Multimodality Methods Group to share some of our recent insights in using storytelling as a subject of a systematic review project and storyboarding as a method of analysis in a systematic review. But we also speak on behalf of the many participants and citizens we were privileged to work with and who share their stories with us as a way of progressing our knowledge base. Storytelling techniques are one of the oldest methods available to share knowledge. Yet, as a review community, we might not have engaged with them substantially. We became involved in story-based methodology because of a sincere interest and deep respect for the material and environmental dimensions of our world and how matter actually comes to matter in the complex social phenomena we study. This opens up new possibilities to focus on the social production of evidence rather than the social construction of it. It invites us into participatory collection and analysis of evidence and to engage a multiplicity of different voices.
We are exploring and advancing storytelling as a method in primary research in our participatory scoping review. Our research team brings together 20 people, including Indigenous and non-Indigenous researchers and Indigenous patients, elders, and healthcare professionals. Our purpose is to identify and examine how storytelling has been used as a method in Indigenous health research on Turtle Island, Australia, and Aotearoa. Our project has two intertwining approaches: a scoping review, but equally important is gathering together to hear teachings and stories from the elders and our Indigenous colleagues about Indigenous storytelling. We bring these two threads together in conversations at our relational gatherings, and we weave together these diverse ways of knowing to guide and shape our work. Here's a photo from our most recent lands-based gathering. Together, we critically reviewed all published research using storytelling in Indigenous health research and developed a framework based on our synthesis of 178 studies to guide the respectful use of storytelling methods in future work.
We use storyboarding as a method of analysis in a qualitative evidence synthesis that explored HIV-infected young people's adherence to antiretroviral therapy in lower to upper middle income countries. To do this, we used 8 steps which we developed within this paper. First being adopting a new materialist perspective which looks at the interaction of items with one another. Second, we familiarized ourselves with the included studies. We then identified and extracted codes, quotes, and material markers with which we created images of meaning. We then placed these images onto a storyboard, which we interpreted into storylines. We revised, redefined, and redrew the storyboard until we were able to provide a narrative in the first-person account. Storyboarding was so useful in this QES, and as you can see that we started out with a very simple drawing, which was just ideas that we placed as we were reading. We then rediscovered the stories through redefining the board. The board was able to be created digitally, so if you don't feel comfortable drawing, you can do it digitally. We also used it as a means of dissemination, so easy translation, easy to create if you're doing diffractive reading. Stories can be read through one another. They are easy to read in the results section. And also the reliability was tested when we worked with a storyboard and a group of HIV-positive young women.
With this contribution, we wish to highlight the importance of storytelling as one of the more powerful ways to put ideas into our collectively shared world. Not only because stories activate our imagination, but also because research has shown that our brains are hardwired to process and store information in the form of stories. At the same time, they may speak to a broader audience, which potentially increases the social impact of the work the Campbell collaboration is doing. Our Multimodality Methods Group pushes forward review projects that speak to the idea of using multiple sensory and communicative modes as a subject of research, a method of research, and a way of disseminating knowledge. We welcome your capacity and intellectual ideas and wish to open the floor for comments and questions.